The team news for the Tigers today shows Hull City make one change from their 1-0 victory away at Cardiff, and it's an unsurprising change with Dishon Bernard coming back in. It's a back three then of Bernard, McLaughlin and Greaves. The midfield the same from against Cardiff. It's Longman, Kane, Lewis Potter, Smallwood, Doherty and Honeyman, with McGuinness and Wilkes up front. The bench for the Tigers today sees Callum Elder replace Jevon Mills, who drops out altogether. The rest of the bench is the same, completed by Ingram, Eves, Cannon, Moncur, Randell Williams and Tom Huddleston. He's going to leave this one for Ryan Longman. He's got Doherty nearby. Wilkes also now just heading across to the left side of the penalty area. McGuinness also waiting down the touchline, but the throw-in comes to nothing, and Ojo will now take the ball on up towards the halfway line. Linesman nearly keeping the ball in play himself. The ball managing to stick to the white paint of the touchline, into the feet of Wallace. Big step away to the right of the penalty area. Stands up a decent looking cross for Benica Furby to get onto. Over the top of the crossbar it went, and Hull City can breathe a little sigh of relief as Jed Wallace down the right hand side took a big strong touch away, forcing the ball away from the back three, who had to confine, get set inside the penalty area, deal with the cross that was presented to them. And a Furby got his head to the ball, but over the top it went. Bernard will have the ball in his hands, relishing being back in. If he just held on to his feet for one match longer, he wouldn't have been suspended for the match against Cardiff, because obviously those now get reset after week 19 of the fixtures. Ojo in the final third. He's going to play it through to a Furby. Millwall win it back very comfortably. A Furby took the shot on it. The ball was always travelling higher. It went down the middle and Baxter was able to tip it behind while staying on his feet. Well read by Millwall. Ojo picked it up, played a little ball into a Furby inside the penalty area, and he took his shot on right-footed. He was just slightly off balance. It's going to be the corner for Millwall, and Jed Wallace will deliver towards the back post. Bernard leaps with Jacob Greaves, bobbling around, and Murray Wallace, side-footed from 8 yards, almost turned the ball home. Enough people in the way to stop the ball crossing the line as Millwall try and play it through to Bradshaw from Saville, who took that pass 10 yards inside the Hull City half. Too strong a ball, and it runs out of play, and that remains 0-0 here after 18.5 minutes. Throwing, Millwall will try and again construct something, but it's now Hull City looking to try and build as Doherty in the midfield manages to dink the ball to Keane Lewis Potter. The ball comes in towards Honeyman. Hull City take the lead. Looking down back at Doherty, who's still on the ground, but he was the man who started off the move, chipping the ball to Keane Lewis Potter, and then the ball into the penalty area, found Honeyman, arriving right on time to steer the ball into the back of the net. And George Honeyman has got an appetite for scoring goals at the moment. It's 3-4 for him, and Hull City lead in the first half once again. Hull City 1, Millwall 0. You have to say, after 29 minutes, it's a match which really hasn't deserved a goal, but Hull City, from a rare opportunity, have taken advantage from the scrappy offerings that have been presented to either side so far. Both managers, as you would expect, very much wrapped up, but Cliff Byrne is still rocking the shots, despite it being Arctic conditions here at the MKM Stadium. Jacob Greaves will throw the ball down the line. McGuinness, who has to battle and tussle with two Millwall markers all the time, lost out, and Furby has popped it through very nicely for Bradshaw, and one-on-one Millwall have equalised to make it 1-1. And the man who struggled for goals last season finds the back of the net, celebrates on the halfway line with jubilant Millwall supporters. An incisive through ball from Benica Furby inside his own half, set Bradshaw away down the middle, and Hull City just could not get back in time. Bradshaw had a good 5-yard head start. He slides the ball nicely past Baxter, for Grant McCann and his side. Rip the half-time team talk up and start again, because it's now 1-1. Honeyman will deliver into the box immediately, drops to Keane Lewis-Potter, pops it to Wilkes inside the box. An almost immediate reply from the Tigers, sees the ball travel over the top. And that was the final action of the first half. There was only 1 minute of added time, and Millwall were able to score in it. Hutchinson, now Doherty gathers, and McGuinness on the halfway line, looking to try and thread it through towards Malik Wilkes. Hutchinson, though, reads it nicely, keeping Malik Wilkes at arm's reach as he managed to win the ball back. Millwall looking to now press down the right-hand side with a couple of nice little 1-2s down that right-hand channel. It's with McNamara bumping and barging away with Greg Doherty. Both players slip over. The ball stays in play at the byline. The cross now comes in for a free header for Bradshaw, and it's well saved by Baxter, diving to his left. Smothers the ball nicely enough. More power, you would imagine it would be 2-1 to Millwall. But Hull City will be unhappy that Bradshaw, unmarked, was able to head that. Longman's delivery into the penalty area as Hull City went down the right-hand side, and Daniel Ballard is able to only clear it for a corner kick. It's Honeyman's delivery. It's a short one towards Smallwood on the 18-yard line. Plays it back to Honeyman. Draws out 2 men in white shirts. Ball into the box, headed back across goal by Bernard. Comes out to the edge of the area for Keane Lewis-Potter. 1 block or 2. McGuinness, and then following up is Ryan Longman. Saved by the keeper, but from 4 yards he's on target, and he makes it 2-1 to Hull City. He said, didn't he, that he will score soon, and he's kept his word to a T. It's not the prettiest goal, but it's a goal nevertheless. McGuinness did the hard work, turning, twisting, getting the shot away from 8 yards. Good save from the keeper. Maybe would have liked to have pushed it into a better area, but you could question Millwall's defence not picking up anyone in and around the 6-yard box. Longman was free, and there was another man in black and amber charging forward too. Longman got there first. Hull City get there second, and could be on their way to another 3 points. They've had the lead once, they've now got it back, and they know the lesson that they have to make sure they don't lose that lead again. Hull City 2, Millwall 1. Millwall trying to play a through ball straight through the middle into the penalty area for, this time, Ojo. He was cut out by the Tigers' defence, but Millwall coming back with McNamara into Ojo. Plenty to aim at in white in the penalty area. Comes to a Furby, tries to get it across, and somehow it stays out of Baxter's goal. It was cleared away from 2 yards out. A Furby gets a bit of a body check from George Honeyman as the Tigers clear away again. Callum Elder is going to be coming on for Hull City. Keane Lewis-Potter will now go up front alongside McGuinness, so there's no shape change, but a bit more of an experienced positioned player in Callum Elder on the left-hand side to try and keep tabs on Millwall's best player on paper so far this season, Jed Wallace, with 5 goals and 5 assists. Ojo down the left-hand side. In pursuit of him is Small, but Ojo gets the ball in. It took a deflection on the way through from Bernard's touch. Baxter, with his long arms, is able to get something on the ball to steer it away. The ball keeps going out of play, which, when you're winning, obviously doesn't matter too much. But obviously, Hull City's game is, at times, to really pull apart the opposition's formational shape. And when the ball keeps going out of play, that just allows your opposition to get set all the time. Likewise, if the ball goes out of play from Millwall, Hull City can then get set. As, again, possession changes hands. Bradshaw plays it through to Wallace. He's going to first time it into the feet of Saville with a little through ball to find McNamara, who was travelling into the penalty area, and 10 yards out, if that. He took a shot side-footed, and it's a really good stop from Baxter. He's been a wall when called upon, and he pushes that ball to his left-hand side. It's a really smart stop from the Chelsea loanee, and he's now trying to do his damnedest to keep Hull City in front. Who's going to be the one who's going to be picking him up in Millwall colours? Man's gone down for Millwall, but the cross comes in and it's flicked by Saville into the 6-yard box, and Hull City get it away eventually. Action stations in defence again. Gary Rowett sat in his technical area at the moment, maybe thinking about the third change that he needs to introduce to get his side motoring in the way he wants. It's with Saville, his ball into the box, headed by Greaves, comes to a Furby in the D, takes on the shot, gets his bearings awfully wrong and sends the ball soaring high and wide away from goal. And after 73 minutes it remains 2-1 to the Tigers. We are into the last few seconds of the match. Millwall again basically launching the ball as often as possible. A Furby 25 yards out, tries to get away from 3 men in black and amber, and Hull City just blasted away again. Grant McCann and Cliff Byrne are demanding that the whistle be blown. Whistles from the Hull City fans. Millwall might have one last effort to get it forward. They go for it. Randell Williams nips in, cuts it out. It's gathered again by Murray Wallace. Edge of the box left side. Into Mason Bennett. Being stood up by Bernard. His cross is blocked. Williams will put it into touch. That's it! And you can hear what it means to the Hull City fans in the stadium. I imagine there'll be a collective cheer all over the world, wherever you're watching or listening to this. Hull City once again, like against Cardiff, gritty and determined to get the 3 points, and have come away with another victory. 4 in a row now for Grant McCann's men. Hull City have won today by 2-1.